meteor lands on Earth in the Arizona desert, which carries with it alien DNA. The DNA starts to adapt to Earth's atmosphere and creates alien life, which is growing at a rapid rate. Released in 2001 and directed by Ivan Reitman, Evolution is a sci-fi oddball comedy, kind of like Ghostbusters of the 2000s, only it's not about ghosts but aliens, where we follow disgraced former army officer Dr. Ira Kane, played by David Duchovny, who along with his friends Professor Harry Block, played by Orlando Jones, wannabe fireman Wayne Gray, played by Sean William Scott, and Dr. Alison Reed, played by Julianne Moore, all set out to find a way to stop the alien growth and creatures before it takes over the entire world, in this fun, energetic comedy full of gags, ferocious monsters, and action-packed set pieces. So get ready to save the world with Head & Shoulders shampoo as we look into this often forgotten about comedy, as we explore 10 things that you didn't know about evolution. Let's check it out.
What do you want? Light meat or dark?
You have to ask.
Number 10. Evolution was originally a serious sci-fi thriller. Evolution has all the hallmarks of a goofy oddball science fiction comedy. It's purely played out for laughs and not to be questioned too much or looked into too seriously. A supernatural film that belongs in the same category as Ghostbusters and Men in Black. However, Evolution didn't start off like that. The original script was written by scriptwriter Don Jacoby, who had co-written for movies such as Blue Thunder, Life Force, Invaders from Mars, and Arachnophobia. And his original script for Evolution was to be darker and more of an edge-of-your-seat science fiction thriller. So the original groundwork for Evolution was probably going to be less Ghostbusters and more species. However, when Ivan Reitman was hired to direct, he wanted more humour added to the script, for it to be more of a fun, light-hearted comedy. After all, this is the guy who gave us Ghostbusters as mentioned, as well as Twins, Stripes, and Kindergarten Cop. Writing duo David Diamond and David Wiseman were hired to rewrite the script. The team got acclaim for their previous work on the script for Family Man. Original writer Don Jacoby actually liked the changes, so much so he continued to work on the film with the other writers. Number 9. Christmas was cancelled on location. Evolution was mainly filmed in California and around Page, Arizona, and it was a lengthy shoot. In fact, the scenes involving the small town were shot around December. So at the risk of having viewers think that Evolution was a Christmas alien movie, DreamWorks, who were distributing Evolution, had asked the locals of the town to put off putting up Christmas decorations and to wait till filming in the area was completed, making Evolution the film production that stole Christmas. But it wasn't all bad, as once the shoot in the town was complete, the production of Evolution paid to have the festive Christmas decorations put up around the town just in time for Christmas. And the town must have been really happy to comply, as to the best of my knowledge, in the movie you don't see any tinsel or other Christmas stuff around the town. Number 8. David Duchovny turned down the Force. In the late 90s and early 2000s, actor David Duchovny was in high demand thanks to his role as Fox Mulder in the X-Files TV series. And seeing how Evolution is a movie about aliens, it seemed fitting that he should be cast as Dr. Ira Kane. And what's fascinating is in Evolution, he's kind of an opposite, bizarro version of Mulder. He's more funny, more outgoing, cheeky, and comical, keeping in line with the more playful script, as opposed to the more awkward, soft-spoken Mulder. And he actually does comedy quite well. However, due to his casting in Evolution, Duchovny had to turn down a role in Star Wars Episode II: Attack of the Clones. I'm not entirely too sure what character he was going to play, but it was apparently a Jedi Knight. Hey, just as long as he wasn't playing the sand, as it's coarse and gets everywhere. But sadly, due to his commitments on Evolution, he couldn't explore a galaxy far, far away. Duchovny was actually heartbroken, as it apparently was his dream to star in a Star Wars movie. He said, quote, I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I haven't had time to do the movie, unfortunately. But then again, given that it's Attack of the Clones, maybe it wasn't such a bad thing that he didn't star in it after all. Okay, don't get angry, Star Wars fans. It was just a joke. Okay, calm down. Calm your farm. Number 7. Evolution and Head & Shoulders shampoo. So yeah, now we get to the strangest part of Evolution, the Head & Shoulders aspect of the movie, where it turns out only this famous shampoo brand can save the day and defeat the aliens. And the movie even ends with a Head & Shoulders commercial. This leads to the same kind of questions that get raised when people discuss the use of FedEx in Castaway. Is this shameless, overt product placement, or is it that the product just so happens to be a part of the movie's story? In Evolution, it's explained that Head & Shoulders contains the element selenium, which is toxic to the alien life form, where a fire truck full of Head & Shoulders is used to defeat the alien meteor mass in the movie's climax. However, to coincide with the release of Evolution, Head & Shoulders did actually release a new selenium variant of their shampoo. So I don't know. Is Evolution just one big Head & Shoulders commercial, or did Head & Shoulders decide to release this brand because of Evolution? Although the Head & Shoulders gag was funny for the first time watching, in my opinion, it's one aspect of the movie that hasn't really aged very well. But at least it's product placement for shampoo. Something that's actually useful, unlike, say, Mac and Me, which teaches kids that McDonald's and Coca-Cola are the greatest, purest thing in this world. Number 6. Dan Aykroyd got friendly with the locals. So in Evolution, Dan Aykroyd has a minor role of Governor Lewis, and it's great having him be a part of the movie, because it's like the extra bridge that connects this movie to Ghostbusters. And while filming in Page, Arizona, Aykroyd really threw himself into the community. He would greet the locals at the town's Walmart, hang out with the locals at bars, and according to IMDb, became so friendly with some of the locals, he would even drop by their homes for a cup of coffee. So it's nice to see that Aykroyd doesn't have the Hollywood ego, and is eager to please and befriend all the locals of a town that he's filming in. Also, Evolution has something of a Silence of the Lambs connection, as Ted Levine played the movie's villain, General Woodman, who's kind of like the Walter Peck of Evolution, and Levine previously played Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs, and Julianne Moore played Dr. Alison Reed in Evolution, and she would go on to play Clarice Starling in the Silence of the Lambs sequel, Hannibal, which also came out in 2001. Number 5. Bird Cries of an Old Cartoon. So while we're talking about the cast of Evolution, there's Sean William Scott who plays Stifler. Okay, technically he's not Stifler, he's a character called Wayne Gray, but let's face it, he's basically Stifler. After American Pie, Scott starred in several movies at that time, where he was pretty much playing Stifler clones. But that's not a bad thing, as he's really funny in the mouthy wise guy role. In the movie, there's a scene where our main heroes are in a shopping mall, trying to track down an alien dinosaur bird, where Scott's character tries to call the bird with weird bird-like cries.
Wait, I think we've established that caca and tuki don't work. Right.
Now, unless you're a total nerd, then you may not know that the toki noises he makes are from the 1960s George of the Jungle cartoons. Who knows, maybe Ivan Reitman or one of the writers was a fan of the old cartoon and wanted to do a nod to it. Scott also sings You Are So Beautiful to Me pretty good too.
You are so beautiful to me.
Step back, Harry. I'm gonna shoot him.
Also in the cast, Orlando Jones plays Professor Harry Block, and when I first saw Evolution, he was actually my favourite character. I thought that he had the best lines, and I liked his comical mannerisms.
Alright, moving down his leg.
What do we do?
We might have to amputate.
Don't take the leg!
Heading for his testicles.
Take it! Take it! Take the leg!
And when watching Evolution, you can see that he has great chemistry with David Duchovny. Number 4. DreamWorks sold half their rights. So DreamWorks picked up Evolution to distribute. The company, which was co-founded by Steven Spielberg, started in 1994, and during the late 90s and early 2000s had distributed several movies, such as Small Soldiers, Ants, Saving Private Ryan, American Beauty, Gladiator, Meet the Parents, and Castaway. However, shortly before the movie's release, DreamWorks sold their international rights of Evolution to Columbia Pictures. The irony being, Columbia Pictures had previously distributed Ivan Reitman's other paranormal comedies, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, as well as Men in Black. It kinda makes you wonder if DreamWorks got cold feet with Evolution and didn't really have much confidence in it. Number 3. Animated Series. So in 2001, DiC produced an animated series based on Evolution called Alienators: Evolution Continues. I don't know why it couldn't be simply called Evolution, but there you go. The title, however, did get renamed to Evolution: The Animated Series. It only lasted for one season consisting of 26 episodes. The plot of the cartoon is basically the same as the movie, as we follow Ira Kane and the rest of his team on a mission to rid the world of the alien species which grew in the Arizona desert from the crash-landing meteor. The animation style was bright and colourful and energetic, and the alien monster designs were pretty awesome. I mean, come on, look how badass this is. Although, is it just me or does this alien look a lot like Pikachu? The characters, however, look nothing like their movie counterparts, which suggests the production of the cartoon couldn't obtain the rights to the actors' likenesses. But regardless, the show never caught on and disappeared into pop cultural obscurity. I mean, I never even knew this cartoon existed. I guess it just passed by Australia unnoticed. Number 2. Alternative Ending. So as mentioned, the ending of Evolution sees Kane, Harry and Wayne in a weird Head & Shoulders advert, where they talk about how awesome Head & Shoulders is. However, there was an alternative ending that wasn't used, which takes place in a hospital 8 months after the events of the movie, where we see that Allison is pregnant with Kane's baby, where a doctor then comes out and gives them some grim news, leading us to believe that there is something wrong with Allison's baby, where we then learn the doctor was talking about Harry, who turns out to also be pregnant, after getting the alien under his skin earlier in the film. Harry is horrified but then wakes up only to find it was all a dream. But nope, as he gets out of bed it turns out that he actually is pregnant with an alien organism. This ending leans more to the possibility of a sequel, but I don't know, I prefer the original ending, even though that still wasn't a perfect ending. For if anything, we see the Harry character suffer at the horror of being impregnated with an alien. And I like Harry, I don't want to see him suffer. I think it's all part of an ongoing gag in the movie of Harry feeling violated by the alien that got stuck in his body, but I just don't know if that's the best way to end the movie. What do you guys think? Which was the better ending? The Head & Shoulders advert, or the twist that Harry has been impregnated by an alien? Number 1. Evolution couldn't live up to Ghostbusters. Evolution was released in June 2001 and made over $94 million at the box office, which although isn't bad, it still wasn't a huge high earner either, giving its budget of $80 million. The movie didn't get the best reviews. The biggest problem is, it couldn't get out of the shadow of Ghostbusters, as comparisons were made on the account of it being directed by Ivan Reitman and was about a team of underdogs having to defeat an out-of-this-world threat. It was felt that Reitman tried to recapture the magic of Ghostbusters, but couldn't live up to that momentum, and that many of the jokes fall flat. At the time, Evolution was kind of being marketed as Ghostbusters with aliens, but the problem is that was already kind of done with Men in Black a few years earlier, which was a lot more successful. Evolution has more or less become forgotten about over the years. But to me, that doesn't mean Evolution doesn't have any merit as its own thing. Yes, it doesn't live up to Ghostbusters, but how many movies do? If you see Evolution as its own thing, and just see it as a wacky comedy with aliens, then you'll find that it's actually a lot of fun. And all the cast members are great and all have great chemistry with each other. Especially Orlando Jones and David Duchovny, who make a great comical double act. So I don't think that Evolution should be as overlooked as it is. I think it's time to go back and dust off the old DVD copies and give this movie another viewing, and you'll see that it's actually an enjoyable comedy made with passion, and that it has a lot of interesting ideas and gags. It's time to relight the evolution of Evolution. Just remember, the most vital way to watch and enjoy this movie is to forget about Ghostbusters. Get it right out of your head, and just take what Evolution has to offer. It's not as grounded as Ghostbusters and is more goofy. But does that make it unenjoyable? No. It simply doesn't. It's just a fun, popcorn flick of its time. It's harmless and yeah, you'll get a bit of a smile and a few chuckles every now and then when you watch it. Anyway, I'm Minty, and did that weird puppy dog alien monster freak anyone else out? Ugh. See ya!